I want to talk about the 14th Amendment. Specifically, I want to talk about a 1973 Supreme Court decision that ruled that the 14th Amendment's due process clause guarantees you a fundamental right to privacy. Now, what was that 1973 Supreme Court decision? I think you know. Roe v. Wade guarantees you a right to privacy. Now, I'm not a gender scholar, and there are plenty of more talented people on this app who have talked about how devastating the overturning of Roe v. Wade is going to be for women across this country. I'm a gun scholar, and I'm going to stay in my lane. So let's talk about what I know. If Roe v. Wade is overturned, you lose that fundamental right to privacy. How do I know this? Alito says in his majority opinion that if it is not an enumerated right, meaning that the right is explicitly written in the Constitution, then it doesn't exist. Tell me where in the Constitution it says you have a right to privacy. I'll wait, because it's not there. It only exists in Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. So what does Roe versus Wade then have to do with guns? Everything. You ever wonder why we don't have a national gun registry in this country? Why we can't seem to pass laws that require you to register your firearms and tell the government exactly how many you own? It's what we've been talking about this whole time. Roe versus Wade. Your privacy is only protected because of Roe versus Wade. Now, I'm okay with the National Gun Registry. I am perfectly happy to register the firearms that I own with the government. Hell, they can even come in my house and look at my safe and inspect my guns. Perfectly okay with it. But are you? All of you wannabe militias out there want the government to be able to inspect your home whenever they want and force you to register the guns that you own? If Roe v. Wade goes away, they will, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because every time we brought up a gun registry, it's always been argued in court that we have a right to privacy based on the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. And the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment protects a lot of our rights, like the right to marry. It allows us to marry anybody we want. We can get married interracially. Same-sex marriage is also predicated on the 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause. But let's take it a step further. If you don't have a right to privacy and the Due Process Clause is stricken, then that means the government can let you marry who they want you to marry, not who you want to marry. You won't have a choice anymore. CDC's been buying data from different apps, things like 23andMe and Ancestry.com. What if the government takes that data, that genetic information, and decides, hey, I want this person to be with this person? There's nothing you can do about it because you don't have a right to privacy. Now, all of this could be hyperbole. Who knows? But conservatives, are you willing to gamble that in your victory? Are you willing to gamble and give up all of your privacy and let the government be more intrusive in your life?